All right, so up again, right? Looking good, looking better. How you feeling, right? Now, here's the point, though. If I come into your store and I'm murkied out and I smell a little, why do you think that is, right? I take a shower once a day or something, and I do things in between, right? If I'm coming into your store, say a little bit after 1, right, or 2, right, that means I'm there after I've been up for a while, right? If I smell, I was probably working out a little, but not enough to really worry about. But maybe I was smelling or something, right? Again. Now here's the problem, though. When someone makes you think I'm doing something I'm not doing, whose fault is that? Theirs, right? Not mine. It's not my fault if someone used the fact that you look like a girl I dreamed of to make you think I wanted to be with you when I didn't, right? And you took advantage of it yourself. Silly. Don't tell me you didn't hear what I was saying I would do with my girlfriend, too. That I would make love to her, buzz her, booze, lick her boozy, do. All that stuff either, right? Come on, right? Get real, Michelle. And don't tell me that didn't tempt you to be with me, right? Now, the real Michelle I know I was with, by the way, I did it with her too, right? So if I didn't buzz her like I buzzed you, right? I was talking about doing that the whole time too, right? And don't tell me it didn't feel good. I know it did. But the thing is, I think you're 37, not 15. That's the difference in the mindset of a pedophile or a disabled veteran who's being accused of being a pedophile. Now, if a 4-year-old wakes you up in the middle of the night, even if you just went to sleep for a few minutes, you're still not aware of why she's in there with you. You gotta explore the option, right? There's 4 options, right? Eat, drink, pee, or bathe the child, right? You don't know that? Or those are the first 4 options and the only 4 reasons the child would rather be in there with you? Right? What planet are you on where a child would wake you up otherwise? If you're asleep on the couch. Who's thinking the evil there? Me or you? You are, sir. You're the evil thought in my head. I'm having to rebuke as Satan itself. Not my thoughts that she had to pee and just needed to be smelled or something. You know I lick it, but I took out the tongue before I did her, right? To smell her, right? You already knew that, right? So if you know I lick it before I stick it, what am I gonna do? To show you I'm not sticking it, stick out your tongue all the way up and down. Right. Why, sir, would I do that, Mr. Carey? Why? To smell her, asshole. To smell the girl. Why do you think she related to Grandma anyway? Asshole. I was there too. Whether I remember it or not. But you can't prove either, jerk off. Captain Carey. You're an asshole. You're the worst Marine on the planet. You don't trust your own men. Even when they're doing the right thing, you don't trust them. Because you let your whole Navy career mess up your mind, right? Where you don't know the difference between someone smelling a child versus someone eating a child out. And you're not supposed to record me in private anyway. That's illegal. The living room, if I'm sleeping there, are my private quarters. It's my bunk for the night. It's my cot for the night. The child's not supposed to wake me up at all, sir. I'm sleeping comfortably. I'm not bothering no one. I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? She's not if she does. Get that, sir? A child does not wake up her sleeping step-parent. Unless there's a good damn reason, right? And usually it's for something biological. Now, if I being schizophrenic know that, why don't you, being a captain, not know that? Asshole. Jerk off. Freaking jarhead Marine. Are you thinking like a Marine? Or a crazy father? Do you have a daughter, sir? Did you even help raise a child that's female? I did. I had a sister. And I know the rules about how to deal with a sister, right? Now, Marine, when a sailor tells you he don't touch little girls, he don't touch little girls. I like grown women. I would prefer a prostitute before a child, you know what I mean? I'll sooner pay for it, right? I'm a sailor. We don't do that with little girls. Now, how many times do I gotta tell you? If anything messed up was getting to Sheena Johnson, it's the shipmates. And whatever psycho thing they're saying to her, I wouldn't say that to her. Right? I'm a gentleman, right, first, right? If I have a problem with my wife, I want to confront her, or my girlfriend, I want to confront her and talk to her like a man, and I don't want to ruin my chances by saying something dumb, right? I ain't gonna call her the N-word, even though I know the N-word. Before I met you, right? But it ain't about you if I know the N-word. I'm in Georgia, honey. We all know the N-word down there. But I'm making it something comedic. So you are. See, if I use Nick and then I'm making a point. I'm not saying the word as it's said to others. And you understand? I'm not meaning that. And if I use it, I'm trying to use it respectfully instead of disrespectfully. It just means black. It was the Portuguese way to say black before all the madness of the word, right? And all it means is someone is calling you black toned skin, right? It had a meaning before they started to use it derogatory towards people, right? And the meaning wasn't the problem. It's the way the Southern men were using it to you, right? To make you demean because you were black, right? You're not black, though. You're a human being with dark skin pigments, right? Because of the continent you were from, right? You could have started out just as white as Charlie Chan and then, or Charlie Chapman, right? And now you're dark skinned, right? Ask the Aborigines, right? You're not the only continent dealing with the hot sun, you know, or that kind of environment. There's 2 countries, and both countries have dark skinned people. That odd scientist. Is that adaptation or evolution? Adaptation, right? What's the difference between adaptation and evolution, right? If 2 locations have the same dark-skinned people, then what does that mean, right? And they're both hot continents, Africa and Australia. Is that adaptation or evolution, right? Do you know the difference, scientists? What is adaptation? It's when a leopard becomes a snow leopard because of the snow. Or a bear becomes a polar bear because of the snow, right? It's adapting to its environment. It wouldn't make it as a brown bear or a black bear in snow. Retard, unless God made it a polar bear for the snow's sake. It can do that too, right? It created a polar bear the same as us. Why do you think creatures go extinct? If we evolved through some sort of evolutionary progress going up or down, right, There would be other creatures, not just one or two. You would have missing link between the dinosaur and the bird, right? Or all kind of crazy missing link between the human and the bird, right? Whatever it is you think gets up to us, right? And then you would have to have mammals without a single penis bone between us, right? Only the male of the species of the human beings doesn't have his penis bone. Why is that? Selectively left out by the maker? I thought so too, right? Now, excuse my anger at Captain Carrier or whoever the hell's pulling this crap off, but they need to stop messing with my dating life. It ain't helping you. And you're pissing me off as you would any man. You keep calling me a pedophile. That's going to make children think I want to sleep with them even if I don't. Asshole. And lie about their age because they think I want to be with another woman. Dumbass, right? What do you think happened with her, right? Michelle. She thinks I want to be with a young girl, right? So she's might as well. Not that I would hurt her. I'm not trying to hurt her. I don't think I hurt her. I think it probably felt good technically, right? But she was disgusted more mentally, right? With the act than the sexual pleasure of it, right? See, if she thinks you're going to be with her anyway, right? Whether she lies or tells the truth, she's going to be with you anyway, right? Not because of me. Because some butt wipe won't stop confusing my sex life. They want to live vicariously through me, right? That's a demonic possession, right? The demon is working through that person to call me a pedophile, you understand, right? I don't call myself a pedophile because I know better, right? But you get a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl around you, right? You can't tell their age. Even Amy Jo Johnson from the Power Rangers still looks good at 52 because I just seen an article on her, right? On Google. Mm-hmm. And I remember her from the Power Rangers, right? And I bet even Mary Lou Retton still looks decent for her age, right? And she was older, right? I bet she's still a cutie patootie, as they would say. But the point is, whoever's doing this ain't helping me or the girls right, around me, right? They're making think I want sex with younger girls, right? Which ain't too crazy, but it ain't too sane either, right? Problem is, he's trying to say it's underage girls when I know better, right? Okay? And this started with the Navy, right? And the chitlets, right? And the hearing of the voices in 93, which I never reported before. If I heard voices before 93, I would have told you, right? They'll say whatever excuse you want. Mm-hmm. And see, they really hate my hair now, right? I know they do. Right? Don't you? They were probably saying the same thing on the ship, right? But to my back, right, when I was down, right? See, they kick you when you're up, kick you when you're down, right? Mm-hmm. Know what that means, Michelle? Mm-hmm. They're trying to get at me through making you paranoid. I wanted you when I was just trying to be your new friend, right? I don't know you. I don't write to you telling you crazy things. I don't even know your email address, right? I don't know where you live. I don't know how to contact you, right? When I go into a store, I'm trying to be professional, right? I told you that too, and treat it as a business, but I told you that, right? I told you because I read what's called Penthouse Forum and Playboy letters, right? I read stuff like that when a child, when a kid, when a teenager myself, right? You don't take a fantasy and really act on it, though, if the person ain't really old enough or willing, right? You're both at the time. And I'm trying to explain it to you where you could get over it, right? Whether I go out to your store anymore or not, right? I know we messed up that one time, but that's the point, right? Did I get you pregnant? What happened? I'm trying to be your friend still, right? Because we got our wires crossed, is what it's called, right? Someone made you think that I wouldn't take no for an answer and that you had to have sex with me to get me rid of me, right? Well, that didn't work either, did it? No. No. And I'm trying to communicate to you like you're older now, too, and wiser now yourself. After we did whatever we did. Like we don't know what we did, huh, right? We know, they know, right? But the reason we did it is them, not us. That's their demon, right? Their demon is accusing the witness of being a pedophile. Because they can't handle the truth, right? It's a demonic spirit that before someone does something, tries to make someone do something they weren't trying to do and keep telling you they're not trying to do it, right? That's demonic from them, right? They're pretending they're protecting you when they're the ones who made you feel you didn't have a choice, not me, right? I know we have a choice to say yes or no. No. What do you think I'm telling you? No. Oh, John Edwards is on Cameron Hall today. Remember him?
Documentary Call Me Miss Cleo. I watched this documentary. I called my Terrence, and we have got to talk to the people behind it. Mm-hmm. We're digging into what happened with Miss Cleo. She's since passed away, but her friends are telling her story in this doc. The filmmaker behind it after the break. Mm-hmm. Are y'all ready for the show? Mm-hmm. Join the Tamron Hall Show audience. Go to TamronHallShow.com. Welcome to the Tamron Hall Show. If you were interested.
Now, the thing about a psychic medium, though, is they're seeking a higher plane, right, of the dead versus what we see, right? They're trying to hear what the spirits are trying to communicate with them, and it starts with letters, it starts with, common things, right? Of course. When the spirit is here, whether it's in the past, present, or future, right? If it's in the realm of the dead, right? It cannot be destroyed, the spirit itself, right? The electricity within us, whatever you want to call it, is some kind of bioelectricity, right? It's not capable of being destroyed, but it can leave the body. And that's your death of the body, right? Now, as long as you're alive too, right? Unless Jesus can heal you like Wolverine, then you're good. Then you're good. Mm-hmm. But what do you see, right? What are you going out to see? I'm looking for a woman, right? Yes, is old enough to marry me, right? And be my wife and be my companion, right? But because of confusion of my shipmates, of my peers, right? Wanting to go gay, even some of them, right? I'm having to deal with that as a straight man, not a gay man, right? Now, if you feel gay, right, and people know you're gay, right, and you agree with them you're gay, that's not wrong, man, for you, right? But not everybody feels gay who they call gay either, right? I never had a problem with women, right? People around me thought I did. Well, I'm listening to both what the church is saying about waiting for marriage and tried to. But that's also not reading the Bible on my own, where Moses says you can, right? If you intend to marry the girl with permission from her father, right? See, your dad set that up too, right? By leasing the property and not doing the right things there, right? He's working you a year too young. And he can't do that either. I know you probably wanted to do it to make some money. I get that. Right. But I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to find a girlfriend, right? Now, did it hurt or feel good? Right? Was I trying to make love to you or really take advantage of a 15-year-old girl, or did I really believe you're 37, right? Oh, Miss Cleo's on.
Spokeswoman for the Psychic Readers Network. It was one of those call-in services which ultimately took in $1 billion by allegedly preying on people looking for spiritual guidance, many of them desperate for information. Well, the network came under fire for deceptive and fraudulent practices, much of the blame unfairly, though, falling on the star. While in reality, Miss Cleo was not the owner of the company. She was just the pitch person. And she was unknowingly, according to her friends, being used as a tool in an enterprise targeting customers. Take a look.
Miss Cleo was a psychic advisor, and she read tarot cards.
If anyone watched TV after midnight, you knew who Miss Cleo was.
Yep, I remember her. There's Miss Simone from Cosby.
About the future, they wanted what she gave. She gave you the truth.
But not everyone had the same experience.
Because they also use other people than Miss Cleo, right?
She was born in Los Angeles. She created this Miss Cleo character, which had a Jamaican accent.
There were a lot of people making money from
Jamaica got a Bob Steady.
As the company profits, Miss Cleo didn't appear she was doing any of that.
A lot of her life was such a mystery.
Joining us now is the co-director of Call Me Miss Cleo, Celia Anaskovich. Thank you so much for joining us.
But see, even psychics are human, right? You can trick them too, right? Like, in, right? I don't like trick answers, Steven.
Busted, and she was the mastermind behind all of this. And in fact, the documentary.
And you're trying to trick me when I'm trying to find my wife, which ain't fun.
At the age of 53,
even if you're having problems with your own wife, don't bring me into it, right? She might like me better than you. I don't know.
To sort of breathe new life into her legacy and get the real story out there.
I remember when these charges came against the Psychic Network, and I vividly remember a script that I was supposed to read, and it said, well, Miss Cleo didn't see that coming. She had become the joke that people had targeted her, and that forced her to become a recluse. She couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
And she carried this great pain of people believing she was a fraud. Was she a fraud?
You know, I think it's really easy for us to sort of take in the narratives.
Remember I was talking about psychics anyway before this aired? I didn't know it was going to air, right? Now, coincidence and truth are sometimes hand in hand, right? When you told me you were 37, I had no reason not to believe you that, right? I didn't think you were a 50-year-old hiding in a salon ready to do my nails, right?
Whose names most people don't know.
But secretly knowing you were doing something wrong too, right? And I wasn't trying to blackmail you, right?
From this company.
Yeah, that first commercial she did, I think she made $1,750, and I mean, we can probably all here recite that commercial by heart. We've all seen it so many times.
You do have clips of an interview, because when she did become a recluse, she didn't do a lot of TV, she didn't talk a lot, and she did a few interviews. Her real name was Ure Del Harris. She was taken in by a family. She believed that she had a gift. She believed in that gift. And she says her intention was to help people. Let's take a look at the clip.
You know, on television, they wanted me to appear like I had just arrived on the scene straight out of bush. Well, that wasn't the case. I'm educated. I actually had a higher up tell me one time, well, don't tell them you went to an all-girl boarding school. Well, we really don't want people, you know, to think that, you know, well, that I'm educated.
She was a person that suffered for the way she
Well,
looked.
that's the point about any non-diplomat. Is John Edwards a non-diplomat? I don't know. But the problem is, right?
This is the story she told all of us, but we'll never know how much of it is true.
Truth is dimensional, my dears.
It is not one-dimensional, it is multi-dimensional, and that is why the cards work.
The big question a lot of people had, and it was unsolved to me when I saw the documentary, is she Jamaican? That was at the core of a lot of this.
So that is the question that everyone asks me when I tell them I've made a film about Miss Cleo. And what I'll say, first of all, I didn't know that was one of the clips you were going to pick, but that line where Cleo says truth is not one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional, is probably my favorite line of the film. And I think it speaks to her whole story. I think, Miss Cleo was...
Well, the problem is the truth is the truth, right? It don't lie, though. A lie is more multi-dimensional than the truth. That's the problem, right?
Story is about a world that's often hostile to people that don't fit within its molds. So was she Jamaican? I think that is still up for debate from people in our film.
Yeah, no, it's debated in the film. But one of the things that she did...
But that's called not answering the question because they want you to watch the documentary, probably.
LGBTQ plus community. And in the documentary, we learn a lot about her personal...
That's called evading the answer to the question, right? Which is she Jamaican or not, right?
For the community and accepted by that community.
Yeah, I think when we're talking about the real Cleo and who the real Cleo is, I think that era of her life was when she was most sort of true to herself. And it's so tragic that she died so quickly after she was coming into sort of the time when she was finally able to be her real self and own who she was. She did such amazing things toward the end of her life, and this is her partner Luann.
Partner Luann, who's in the doc. Before I let you go, because I just want to point out the two men who ran that company, Stephen Fetter, Peter Saltz, charges against them, FTC filed charges. Miss Cleo's name was taken out of those charges. But all the billions made, she died penniless?
She died, she was living with roommates. She was not someone who, as Raven says, had a bag at the end of her life. She simply didn't.
So many profited, but she did not. Wow, it is a compelling documentary. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about it. I'm telling you, if you're looking for something to watch, check out Call Me Miss Cleo. It is streaming on HBO Max. Now coming up, you might have seen our next guest story on the feed. In fact, more than 8 million views watched her story on TikTok alone. She's a country music singer. Her name is Jordan Rayner. She had a run-in with a man she believed was trying to kidnap her. She details it in a way that you cannot stop watching. Intuition may have saved her life. Wait until you hear this story. You will never deny your intuition after this.
But see, what was I doing? Going out to get your nails done and then going to a movie. Right. But I also told you I have women that suddenly want sex with me. And did you take advantage of that? Yeah. And I also talked about doing it in the back of the store, this, that, and the other, and having, the car, and So what do you think that means? Apartments, hotel rooms, right? Even a van, right. Had sex in a van by a power plant once, right? But even under a tree in the park once, right? But with covers over it, right? See. Now that sounds like I'm living what's called a playboy lifestyle. Yeah. But I wasn't born to that lifestyle. I'm having to do what's called taking it on the run, right? That means I'm open doing it in unusual places, right? Even the bathroom of a nail salon, right? It wouldn't bother me, right? But I'm not thinking legally, right? Plus, the legal responses to arrest us both, right? We both go to jail for that, right? Neither one of us is to have sex in the bathroom. It's a crime for both, right? Now, if you lied about your age, of course, that's what I'm going to tell the police. She said she was 37. I thought it was a fantasy for her, right? Well, you acted like you were ready for me to come in. Were you? Right. Okay. So you already knew before I came in, whereas I did not, that we were going to do something, right? Right. So your knowledge of what was going on in your mind, right? Not my knowledge of what was going on in mine, is the demonic spirit there, right? Tricking you into thinking I wanted to have sex with you, which is not wrong, right? You look like my dream girl. You know what a dream girl is, right? I actually dreamed of a girl who looked like you, right? But I took advantage of it. But you took advantage of it to get me to be with you, right? Not me knowing it was a warning dream or not, right? Which, like with Mary Bell, like I said, if she's lying about Patrick and all that, right? She didn't love me enough to acknowledge I could even get her pregnant, right? After we broke up, right? Mm-hmm. Which is when the baby's birth weight traces back to, right? Plus, she was on birth control pills, I guess, right? Trying not to get pregnant, right? So if she did, of course, it's going to come as a shock, right? I know that already, but I'm still reeling from it. And then I'm dealing with Justine, who looks like Maribel, and then, right, finally you. And I could have done Justine in the bathroom, but I'm not sure, right? The reason is when I met her, they were wanting her to become a doctor. And she probably and her boyfriend hadn't had sex yet, right? And she wanted a quickie in the bathroom, right? To pop her cherry before she went to school. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, right? But I might have gotten her pregnant, and that upset their plans, right? Plus, Tim's there, right? Someone blacked me out or caused me amnesia of what all happened with her, right? But she knows I wouldn't rape her, but that's kind of the point, right? And Tim knew it too, but that's kind of the point, right? And I can work around her and not go crazy over her, right? I have had sex and been around women before, right? And I know how to behave by now, right? But that's the point about the behavior, right? When you think it's you, can I tell you it's not you if I show up to your place? No. I can't breach your wall, right? You're trying to protect yourself even by Frederica and Tina, right? But you know you're my target, but I'm not targeting you, really. I don't know you until I went into your story. Yes, you're the perfect model of my dream. You're the perfection personified of the dream. You look like the girl I saw standing in the woods in the picture, in my head. As I was dating Lisa, a redhead. And she told me about her cousin who was Native American, right? And I told you this before. That's taking advantage of my dream, right? Not me, your dream. Did you dream of me? Mary Bell said she did, but did you, right? Or was it a nightmare, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to make peace over what happened, too. We can't change the past. But we can learn from it, admit it, and move on, right? But that don't mean it didn't happen or you totally forget it either. You can't do that either, right? Be realistic in what you're dealing with. Your past don't stop being your past. Does it? No. Your past is your past, right? Even Madonna's past, for example, the rock star, can't be changed by Madonna alone, right? She's got to deal with it and grow from here, right? At her age as well. And I heard she's looking hot again, right? Like I told you, women can look hot, right? At a certain age, right? And I'm a cross between Jesus, which a lot of women fantasize about being with. Don't tell me you don't. And even Mario, or even, right, kind of a mixture of an Asian, Caucasian man, right? Who you can't quite put a, a distinction on, right? Right. So I'm trying to what? Forgive you, move on from you, and accept what we did, but also forgive it, right? Because you also caused me slight memory loss of what happened during the hour, right? So I know that's caused at the end, when you finally confronted me about it, right? And did something to black me out, right? While within your store, right? I know you weren't listening to me though, right? But them, and they're the ones with the demonic spirit about pedophilia too. See, it's worse to accuse a man who's just trying to find a girlfriend at 50, who's open to a girl of 16 to 63, or 50 or 60 at the time, right? Even someone 10 years older than me is rational for me to be with, right? So that has to do with Abraham and Sarah, right? Now, when Abraham was 75, how old was Sarah? 65, right? They had been having sexual relations off and on, according to themselves, and were husband and wife, right? As he explained to the Pharaoh and Abimelech, right? But they're also half brother and sister. They had the same father, but two different mothers, right? Now that became a sin with the Torah. Mm-hmm. And that's because you're gathering all the laws around you. And you made Moses give you the law before you went into the land, right? That's what I think happened there, right? Any obscure law, you just wrote it all down in your book, right? And you can't follow it all anyway. You don't even understand it all anyway, right? And it condemns you because with the law comes a punishment for breaking the law. All the law is rules you don't want to live by anyway. Why do you think people wear women's clothing, especially men, though they're told not to? Even RuPaul, again, right, doesn't see why it's wrong for him to dress up as a woman, right? Even though it's against the law of Moses, right? But why is that harmless too, right? If I dress up as a male or a female, which I don't do, but myself, but say some other person does, why can they do it, right? You go out, you buy the dress, you put it on. Hello? Same as a woman can, right? But what confuses you is how beautiful RuPaul is when she's in drag. But you can't say she ain't pretty. His feminine side, right? He makes a pretty woman, right? And he ain't wrong, right? In knowing that either of these, right? But to tell the truth is tell the whole truth, but just help God, right? Are you telling the whole truth? No. I'm telling the whole truth. But I'm telling you also, you can confuse me to it. I can make mistakes still too, right? I'm not perfect. We're not perfect persons. We're not perfect persons. I know. But I forgive you. Move on. Stop trying to force it, right? If you like me, okay. You know this is just a game, right? Anyway, we were playing that you and I both got caught up in, right? Even if Michelle from Chinatown came back. I don't know. You got me ready to do. Out of wedlock, and they're mad. They're mad. Won't even let me go to the store anymore. Probably. But that's not what I'm doing either, and you know it, Nancy and Uncle. I'm trying to find a wife or a girlfriend, and you're interfering, right? But she's old enough to do that, ain't she, right? That's where you're not listening to me, right? I want to legally marry someone, right? And the legality of that means if we have premarital sex, we have the right or the option to get married or not. Now, you're the parents. You can refuse our marriage, right? Even if we had the sex part. Right? But if she likes the sex part, she might do it again. Because she knows I'm trying to stay faithful to her, right? I'm not trying to cheat on you, right? Am I? No. Nope. Mm-hmm. And you can also meet the man you think is the man of your dreams and he turned into, sleep with the enemy, right? Why do you think I'm telling you that? Not all men are trying to treat their wives right. They think you're more of a property, right? And sometimes it works out, right? That's the problem too, right? With some people it works out, some people it don't, right? But we are all seeking our other half, right? The fact that you even thought I meant you showed you were willing to at least play along, right? And not because you thought I would hurt you, but because you knew I wanted to make love to you too, not just hump you and dub you, right? I don't know. You don't play along unless you know you're getting something in return, right? A good first time at least. I know. But whatever we did briefly for 10 to 15 minutes, right? And then we argued about it for 5 and you shot me and I healed like Wolverine and then we went back to doing my nails, right? After you put the gun up and came back down, right? I know. But the best way to stop me is not to do it in the first place when I'm looking for a girlfriend. It's not like I'm a married man either, trying to cheat on his wife and single. And not single and not single, right? I know. But even the movies and the coincidence in the movies, right? Is a coincidence, right? If I use a name, right, and it's in a movie, right? Those are names we all have heard of, right? Hannah Montana, right? If an actress is called by a name I'm using, right, in a script, right? The script writer picked the same name. It's like the name Shane. Shane did not come about because of the movie Shane. It's an Irish variant of John, right? And along the same lines, it kind of means God's perfect gift or God's gift to me, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be a blessing to you, not a curse, right? A friend to you, not a foe. And that's why we forgive each other our mistakes. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I'm not trying to trespass against you. I'm trying to find a wife which you thought had to do with you, right? Not by my doing, but someone else telling you that, right? I didn't once talk to you knowing who I was talking to, right? You're using the alias anyway. Then tell me your real name and I might can avoid it. But you're not the only Michelle either, right? So I'm going to watch out for every Michelle from here on out. I can't meet another girl named Michelle whether we have sex or not. You're the only Michelle I'll ever meet. I've done met 6 or more. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to burn up the minutes, right?